That perfectly segues into actually the next question that we've got. So in some of the industries in the UK so far, it has came back with a lot of feedback saying that a number of people have decided and proved that working from home has been more efficient in some companies. For example, my wife works at a bank, and the departments there have been saying it's been more efficient for the working that they've been doing, rather than going in and out to a central office. Do you think because of the COVID crisis, this may actually start a permanent shift towards more remote working for offices, or will it be an archaic thing to have the team in an office? What's your thoughts?
I think it'll definitely change the world fundamentally in one way or another. And I think kind of to go back to what Jörg said, it forced people to work in a very different way, kind of against our will, I guess, but showed that we can mostly. And I think demonstrating that means people will work in a different way. Maybe it'll kind of enable the creep of the 9-to-5 week going out the window and working a bit more flexibly, especially people who have caring responsibilities, disability needs, children, all the things that kind of go with everyday life that we've been so stuck in the 9-to-5 for so long that maybe this kind of working actually will change the way we do things and might make us more productive. I mean, I know that a couple of countries have adopted that way anyway previously, but I think it might enable different people to engage. And people who haven't engaged before, which will be really interesting as well, and enable people maybe who couldn't come into an office to work for a company. So I think it'll be, yeah, I think I'm hoping it's going to be overall really positive, actually, as a change. But we'll see, I guess. Maybe if we ever come out of this lockdown, feels like we never will.
Okay.
I think it's enabled a demonstration of trust, because we've always taken a flexible approach with Scarora, but certainly I know places I've been before have been worried about whether they can whether they can trust people to get on with stuff, and now this has provided an example that to companies across the country that they really can trust people.
Mm-hmm. Well, what comes to my mind is, and that's an observation, as I said, we're dealing with in these days, every day, with different types of organizations. So I think there is, first of all, if you look at it factually, what is a gain? There's a gain of commuting time, isn't it? Going to the office and going back, right? And depending on what people are talking about, some people go 1 hour to the office and 1 hour back from work, right? So now they're at home and they work from home. I think it's a huge difference. The question is to what extent people are able to manage themselves, their time and their work power in order to really benefit from that commuting time. So really gaining 1-2 hours a day, right? So that is one thing. The other thing is, that we discussed it with some organizations the other day, actually, is the traceability of work being conducted, or the effort people putting into into certain assignments or tasks, right? So it has to, as it was just mentioned, is a matter of trust, which comes into the equation, which wasn't there as it was before. But traceability, or kind of to track and trace what people do, requires new means of management, of managing teams and work, doesn't it? And that only applies to those guys who work from home, whereas others in these days can still go to the site and do some work there, but they either work in shifts or they are kind of separated workspace and these types of things, right? So I think that is what it imposes and requires, actually, in my view, is quite a change in the way in the way business is being conducted and the culture applied to do that.